on three. 1, 2, 3.
Win!
The alley-oop!
Hello, Saints fans. Welcome to the Coaches Show. This is your show, an in-depth analysis of St. Martin's women's and men's golf. Alongside the head coach of the St. Martin Saints and Bahr. And Coach, we look at RJGA Palm Valley Classic. What were some of the main takeaways you saw from your team this past week?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great week. It was what we were looking for, both on the men's side and the women's side. The women went first. It was arguably the best start to a tournament we've ever had, or at least this year. We came out firing hot with a team score of 300 in the first round, which is, I think, our lowest team score of the year. So that was awesome, just an awesome start. And then followed it up, I believe, with a 311. And I told the team, you know, it was just such great playing for the most part. We were super steady. We finished middle of the pack in our biggest field of the year against, I think, the 7 or 8 teams ahead of us were nationally ranked. And that's just incredible to go kind of toe-to-toe with them throughout the week. And we got great pairings, and we got to play with some awesome golfers. And overall, so many highlights. I know that there were still certain things that we were looking for, but it was exactly what we needed heading into conference next week. But really proud. Ashley Bruland came out in round 1 and shot her, you know, collegiate career best, 70, even par 72 in the first round. And it's funny, you look at that, and even she knows, you know, she missed a putt on 17. There were so many, you know, closer numbers where we could have gotten that under par, but I was so proud of her. It was awesome. Really steady. She knows that course well. It was the third year she had seen it, so that's always helpful. But to do it in that big of a field, on that big of a stage, for lack of a better term, it was great. And then Kelsey continues to shine. She went 73, 72. One player, GNAC Player of the Week for her efforts. Top 15 finish. Again, huge field. We had over 105 golfers. So for her to get top 15 was just great, and earn that second Player of the Week award for the year was really, really good. I love going to Palm Valley. It's one of my favorite tournaments, not only because of the golf course, but the field we see is really important to see some of the teams that we just don't see throughout the year in our more southern part of our region. But then I just think it's a great test of golf. It's a good confidence booster. It helps going into conference, seeing great golf and playing hopefully good golf on a good golf course, and get some low scores in there heading to conference, and just boost that confidence for the end of our season. But it was just, yeah, I couldn't have asked for better from the ladies at Palm Valley. It was really, really good.
And one of those ladies having a career best performance, Ashley Bruland. What stood out for her as far as the player and the person over this past year?
Absolutely. She's been really steady. I think maybe she got off this past fall, maybe not quite the way she wanted to, but she was still playing really good, and she's just been trending in the right direction. She's been putting in the right work at practice. She's been really consistent about accomplishing certain drills and making sure she's kind of keeping a well-rounded practice, not trying to focus too hard on one thing in particular, but trying to keep all aspects of her game up. She certainly knows, you know, the back end of our season and what it entails as far as Palm Valley, and then headed into GNACs next week. She's a veteran at the Coeur d'Alene course, so she knows what it entails, and she's been putting in the right work, and I'm really proud of her. I know that she was obviously so happy and excited following round 1. Well-deserved. I think, you know, anytime you're shooting those kinds of scores, you're definitely making big improvements, and I think is a testament to how hard she's been working.
A lot of hard work and effort. Speaking of Ashley Bruland, we caught up with her earlier this week. Alongside Ashley Bruland, Ashley, a look at your time here with St. Martin's. What stands out about the community here in Lacey?
Oh, I just feel like it's so welcoming, and my freshman year, the golf team was so welcoming also, so I just felt like I fit in right off the bat, and I've really tried as a team captain the last 2 years to keep that going with the team, so I just feel it's been awesome.
What were some of the main takeaways you grasped from this past weekend in Arizona?
Yeah, so this past weekend was really fun. I shot my career best, 72, even par in the first round. We spent a week in Arizona about 2 weeks prior, and so that really kind of highlighted what I needed to work on. So I really dialed in my short game, worked on some mental golf, and just went in with a lot of goals, and it ended up really paying off.
How has your mindset changed from the beginning of the season now as we head towards GNAX? What have you learned the most out of this year?
Yeah, so something I actually just read in my book was to persevere, and times are always going to get hard. So that was something I really tried to work on. I used to get in my head and get a little tentative, but confidence has really been a big part of my game that I feel like has improved a lot.
A lot of improvement. How big has Coach Bahr been to your development?
Oh, she's been awesome. She's always uplifting and super positive. I just feel like she always has the best drills when I come to practice, and it's always helping me work on exactly what I need to, so it's been great.
What is one of those memories from traveling that stands out that's away from the course that you'll remember and take away for the rest of your life?
Oh, gosh. My freshman year in Hawaii is probably one of the best memories I have. I had never been before, and the team was super close, so we had an off day in the middle, and it was just so much fun. We did a lot of traveling. We went to the beach. It was great.
A great time your freshman year, but also in that freshman year, winning the GNAC championship. What was that like?
It was kind of surreal. I had never been in that position before, so I went to bed with a lead. And so having to sleep on that was a little bit tough, but I felt like I really just worked hard to stay confident and really try to make good decisions on the golf course, and it ended up paying off, and my teammate Kelsey took second, so it was a really fun time.
How do you get sleep, number one, when you go to bed with the lead? It must have been something that was raining through your mind all night.
Yeah, I didn't sleep well, I'm not going to lie, but I tried to do the best I could. I tried to keep my mind off of it and stay distracted before the second round and not think about it too much, but yeah.
Well, you talk about the memories of winning a GNAX 2 years ago, and now another run into 5 days of competing in the GNAX. What's it going to take for a successful weekend?
Oh, I really just think staying positive and confident and really not overthinking my shots. I'm really going to grind it out the next 5 days before we leave, try to dial in those little things because I'm so close, but just really excited. Coeur d'Alene fits my eye really well, so I always feel like I've played it pretty decent, but overall, really excited. I think the team has been practicing really hard as well, so yeah, just lots of good things.
Who have been the teammates that have been the most supportive for you during your time here in Lacey?
Oh, gosh. I would say Kelsey, Hannah, and Jade have all kind of been in my corner throughout everything. Kelsey and Jade are both juniors with me, so we've been together since my freshman year. Hannah's a senior. Kelsey and I just clicked right away. We traveled to every tournament throughout all of our years together, and she's always supportive, super positive. And then Jade she's such a light, and she always makes me laugh, and she pulls me out of those ruts when I'm sad. And then Hannah's just been one of my best friends on the team since we met. So, yeah, those three probably.
Those three big keys and a big weekend up ahead for Ashley Bruland.
Yes.
Let's head back to Coach Bahr. Boy, what a story for Ashley Bruland, winning the GNAX freshman year. We saw her perspective of it with a tough night of sleep after leading after round one. What was going on through your mind that weekend in Coeur d'Alene?
Oh, I wasn't surprised at all. I think about back 2 years ago, and this is my first year as a head coach, and I knew that team at the time when we came in the fall could perform very well at conference. So while some other coaches might have been surprised in our conference, I was not. I knew what she was capable of and what she still is capable of today and moving forward. And I was so proud of her. I think sleeping on a lead, never easy.
Yeah.
It is a lot of nerves, a lot of jitters, and she stayed really steady, tried to stay in the moment, take deep breaths. She hit phenomenal golf shots round 2, and she closed it out, and I was really proud of her.
Close out in style, but now looking ahead, 5 days from today, do it all over again. What are going to be the keys for a very successful week at GNAX?
Absolutely. Most of our roster on the women's side has seen the course, so they kind of know what to expect. We just have our one freshman, Haley, who's going to be her first time, but it's a great golf course. It's usually in phenomenal shape. My hope is it is also this year. It can be a tough golf course. It's dependent upon the weather, right?
Yeah.
Some years we get some beautiful benign conditions, and other years it can be a little bit trickier if the wind is up in particular. So I've been keeping a close eye on it. We won't really know until 1 or 2 days before, but looking forward to it. The course will be in great shape, I'm sure it always is, but the biggest thing at that golf course is you have to play steady and consistent and be patient, because there are holes where you will have to take your medicine, and if it's a hard par or a good bogey, you take that and you keep moving forward. We know that anytime we're playing a hole that's straight into the lake, it's much longer than normal. It's a good golf course that rewards good golf shots, which are the kind of courses that I love. So I think it's great. Our ladies know it really well, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it could be an awesome year for them, but they have to stay patient. They can't get ahead of themselves. They have to be in the moment as far as the shot they're hitting right in front of them.
Have to be in the moment for every case. Speaking of in the moment, looking at the men's side, a lot of optimism to be taken from Goodyear, from the Palm Valley Classic. What stood out about the men this past week?
Exactly. It was exactly what I was looking for. It was the kind of play I've known they've been able to perform and put up all year long. So really proud that we kind of finally got those rounds posted. Gavin Klein obviously stands out, 5 under performance. Every single round was under par, and to do that day after day after day, 3 rounds was awesome. He's a transfer sophomore, has been really consistent. Arguably one of our most consistent players this year, actually. He doesn't have the lowest scoring average on the team, but all of his scores have been, within a certain range. I think every single one has been under 80. And so really proud of him finally getting what he was looking for at that tournament. The final round on Tuesday, I spent maybe a bit more time than I usually do with him, but we were a great team, and he was reading everything correctly, but then executing perfectly, which is what you need. And so I was really proud of him getting that 3rd round under par, and then obviously finishing top 15 again. Like the women, it's a huge field. We see some major teams, multiple nationally ranked teams, and a top 15 there, and one GNAC Player of the Week for it. It was so well deserved. Very happy for him, and I think it was just a huge confidence booster going into conference next week, obviously. But then, to follow that up, Davis Sheets, our, true freshman there. He played so good. Final round 3 under 69, which was amazing. One of my goals for the week, and we had talked about this as a team, was I wanted somebody to post a number in the 6s. I wanted somebody to post a 60-something. It could be a 62 or a 68, 69. I didn't care, but I wanted to see something in the 6s, and I was so proud of him for getting that. And it's amazing how they'll look back and they'll be like, well, I missed this putt and that putt. And I said, but you still did it, and it was awesome. It was exactly what we were looking for. So he was right behind Gavin, 4 under total, and really good for him to finish as a freshman. Finish a tournament under par was huge. And then Rasmus played really steady. I know he was disappointed in his round 2, but overall I felt he limited the mistakes, which was really important, and was able to finish even par. So that was really good, and it was like I said, what we were looking for.
A lot to be optimistic about. Speaking with optimism, Gavin Klein, one of those key stars this past week. We spoke of him earlier this week. Alongside Gavin Klein, reigning GNAC Player of the Week. And Gavin, what went right this past weekend in Arizona?
Just really in the practice round, I felt comfortable playing. I hit the ball really good in the practice round. I knew I could shoot low at this tournament. I kind of just stayed in the moment, like didn't really think ahead of myself, just minimize mistakes and try to make as many birdies as I can, and it ended up working out.
Working out in a big way, and you look at this past season, what has the St. Martin's community meant for you after bouncing here from Regis?
I'm just really thankful that I had Coach Ann to bring me in. I mean, what happened at my other school is really unfortunate. And the fact that I was able to find a school in such short time, I'm just really grateful that Ann was able to bring me in and had the season that we've had so far. So.
And as far as teammates are concerned, who has stand out amongst your group?
I think the whole team. Like, we have a very competitive team this year. Mostly Christopher. I mean, he's my roommate, and we were at the same school last year, and we've kind of always just battled between who can be better this week and this week. And I think me and Rasmus, we played golf multiple times a week, so I think just us going out and playing and like being competitive just kind of keeps us both like in check, I guess.
What is a great story that away from the course meant a lot to you as far as settling in with St. Martin's?
I think Carter as me being a newcomer and he being a returner, I think him kind of just like bringing me and Christopher under his wing and like bringing us to places like going out to dinner, like go bowling and stuff like that. I think just him making us feel like really welcomed that's a big highlight.
One of the big highlights of gelling and being welcomed in the St. Martin's community. Now looking ahead, GNAC's coming up. What's it going to take to have a successful week?
I think just coming off that Arizona tournament gives me a lot of confidence, and kind of just do the same game plan as I had in Arizona. Just stay in the moment, don't get too far ahead of myself. I mean, can't control the future right now, but can control what I'm doing in the present.
Control the present as far as looking ahead for the GNACs. A fixture first year with St. Martin's, and we love having him in the community. Gavin Klein. Wow, what a story Gavin Klein is for St. Martin's. And really good weekend this past week. Wow, what a story Gavin Klein is this past week. Also, a great addition for St. Martin's. What good has come from this past season with having Gavin on the roster?
Oh, absolutely. We're a better team with him on our roster and as part of our team, and it's been really awesome to see the growth of the men's team this year. We have a ton of new players. I mean, 1 returner and 7 new players, and they're a great group of young men, and I'm proud to be their coach, and really proud of how hard they've worked and how much they've improved. And I think the back half of this spring season, it's really starting to show.
Back half starting to play itself out, and you talk about a lot of success with the golf programs with St. Martin's, and 2 nights ago with the Martys, a lot of highlights, a lot of hardware to take away too. Coach, what stood out from the Martys 2 days ago?
I love the Martys. It's one of my favorite events of the year. It's just so fun to see all the student athletes together. It's one thing to have all of my team in one place, but to get everybody in one room and celebrate the accomplishments, the achievements, both on and off, their field of play is great. And to see all the coaches in the room is cool too. So it was fun to celebrate, get all dressed up. But highlight for me was Kelsey winning Female Athlete of the Year. And I got to present it to her, which was even cooler. So I got to give her a big hug and call her name, and she was so surprised. And it was just wonderful, and I'm so proud of her and glad that my fellow coaches have recognized the year that she's having and have awarded her that awesome accomplishment. Obviously, we still have hopefully more than 1 tournament to go with her, but just really proud of her, and I think it's a testament to how hard she's been working, and hope she can continue that into the back half of the season. And then we won the Team GPA award. We got some Smarties on the women's golf team, so really proud of them. They crush it in the classroom and on the golf course, so that was awesome. Ashley won Most Superstitious, which is kind of funny. She is a little superstitious. She keeps her warm-ups pretty consistent, but hey, when you're playing good, keep those warm-ups consistent, And then Abby got recognized for having a 4.0 GPA, so proud of her, and really fortunate we got a great team. I'm
great
lucky.
Base, great team, and now a great setup next week. The GNAX for the men and the women. What is going on through your mind through these next 5 days?
Oh, I'm getting more and more excited. I love GNAX. I think Coeur d'Alene is just a phenomenal place for us to get to compete, and the course we get to play is stunning. People might know it for the floating green on the 14th hole, and you get to take the little putter boat out there. But it's a good test of golf. It's not an easy golf course. There are some holes that are gettable, and then some holes you got to stay patient and be smart. But really looking forward to it. Obviously, we take 5 on each side, so 10 athletes total. I'll have both my assistant coaches with me, and it's a full crew. We celebrate, have our conference dinner, all that good stuff, and just looking forward to another GNAX and hopefully bring home some hardware.
Hopefully a chance to bring home another trophy to Lacey. Well, also, one key point, I have to bring it in. Masters this past weekend. I know for you, Coach, big Rory McIlroy fan. How special was Sunday for you?
It was stressful, and then it was special. It was so cool to watch. I mean, arguably one of the most exciting final rounds of the Masters, at least I've ever seen, certainly in recent history. He didn't make it easy on us Rory McIlroy fans, but to watch him complete the career Grand Slam, and as a professional golfer, knowing the struggles and the mental hurdles you have to go through to complete that and to achieve your lifelong dream and your greatest goal, it was incredible to watch.
Incredible to witness, and you know what also is going to be incredible to witness? GNAX next week.
Absolutely.
That's all the time that we have for the Coaches Show for St. Martin's men's and women's golf. For head coach Ann Bahr, I'm Danny DeBock saying so long and take care. And as always, it's a great day to be a Saint.